Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. Brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware of West Babylon, New York, 1226 North Wellwood Avenue, just north of the Southern State Parkway and just a couple of miles south of the LIE. 631-756-1125 for the best prices in town on anything you need to get you through these winter storms. And there are going to be some more on the long range and even in the short range. We're going to take a look at those in a moment. But they've got all the quality snow and ice melt products, all the equipment you might need, even de-icer for your car, car windshield washer fluid. And you can see the stock is very high. So they're in good shape. And they will be ready. They've also been open extra hours through all of these winter storm events. So give them a call, 631-756-1125. Okay, so everybody kind of go, we have a day to breathe. That's where we are. We're in between systems. Yesterday's snowfall was substantial. Looks like on average, much of the area from eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England picked up anywhere from 5 to 9 inches. There was some variability. Areas to the south central Pennsylvania, southern New Jersey, south and west got much less than that, but did pick up some additional snow cover, and you can actually pick it out on the satellite. That's the gray that you see that's not moving, while the higher clouds you can see moving. And this is the next system for Tuesday, which we're going to take a look at in just a moment. But in the meantime, as far as the radar is concerned, really not seeing too much. There's a little bit of snow starting to break out in parts of northern Illinois, northern Indiana, and also a little bit of precip, very little, back down into Missouri. This is where the next weather system is going to be coming from, and our radar locally from northeast Virginia all the way up into central New England is nice and quiet. So let's run through what's going on. This is the Weather Prediction Center's, it's a 50 percentile forecast of accumulations, and this covers the period for Tuesday. The lighter green is 1 inch, the darker green is 2 inches. This system that's coming is going to be basically a system that produces a coating to a couple of inches. It's also the kind of system you have to be careful with, because it's these kinds of systems where you hear about local surprises where somebody winds up with twice or even 3 times as much as the standard snowfall that's going to occur. At the moment, areas around New York City, across New Jersey, let's say Route 78, kind of threading a needle here. The models are struggling. Some of the models have the snow edge to about Route 78. The GFS and a couple of others have the snow line a little bit further to the south. We can say for sure, though, that southern half of New Jersey, southeastern Pennsylvania down into Maryland, not going to see anything out of this at all. So it's basically the areas to the north and east. And I used Route 78 as kind of the dividing line here. And also on Long Island, maybe the Long Island Expressway could be the dividing line. This is a very, very small. It's a small system, and those are sometimes tougher to forecast than the bigger ones. So I would say for those areas north of 78 and from Long Island northward, just be aware that we could see a period of snow that could leave as little as a coating, could leave maybe a couple of inches, and again, that small possibility that somebody gets a bit of a local surprise. Now, as far as the next weather system, and that is for Thursday, the WPC folks, when you see it in the long range, and it's been on here for 3 days now, now we're into day 4 on their forecast. So when you see probabilities this high on the long range, it's a pretty good bet that we're going to get something out of this. And in the blue, this system is going to be a little bit further to the south. So the snow area shield is going to go further south, even down into northern Virginia, where you see a 30 to 50% chance of at least 2 to 3 inches of snow. And in the blue, we're looking at a 70 to 90% chance of seeing at least 2 to 3 inches. And you see the 30 to 50 goes pretty far north up into Connecticut and on up into the Hudson Valley, almost but not quite to I-90. So the Thursday system looks like something to pay attention to. And then We have a possibility of a weaker system on Friday, so they're indicating this could be some leftover precip here, some leftover precip being indicated up for upstate New York and New England. And then for Saturday into Sunday, WPC indicates a 10 to 30% chance. I think they might be pushing it here, rushing it a bit with a weekend system, a 10 to 30% chance from Maryland on up through all of New England. And then by Sunday, they have, this is for Sunday into Monday, they have that 10 to 30 line back to just about New York City. I think those two might wind up getting adjusted just a little bit. So let's run through the latest GFS run just to give you an idea of how all of this is coming about. It's a very active pattern. I've been describing it as like being at the end of a bowling alley and you're the 10 pin. We've got one weather system after another. Cold air is spreading out from Canada. It's acting as a big weight and pushing down. So these weather systems are generally taking tracks further south than they normally would. Here's the one for tomorrow. Again, you see how sharp that edge of the snow is, and it even changes it to a little bit of rain on Long Island. We'll see if that winds up being the case. It's a weak system anyway. It goes out. It turns colder behind it for Thursday, and then for Wednesday into Thursday. So Wednesday looks okay. Thursday, here comes the next one with some snow. Now, if depending on how much moisture this one has, this could be a 2 to 4, maybe a 3 to 5 type snow event. If I had to throw some numbers up around in my head, and then that will get suppressed. Here's where the GFS for Friday has another little renegade wave that tries to move northeastward, but basically gets into that cold, dry air and just falls apart. And then we go to the weekend, where things get a little more interesting with the upper trough into the west and a little short wave that just kind of swings up. A lot of overrunning precip. You've got a wave in southwest Georgia that it takes to just along the coast of near the North Carolina-Virginia border, and then slides it out up to Atlantic City before sliding it out to the east. This is something I think we're going to need to watch, and I think we're also going to see more changes with this as we get closer. It might be a little bit more of a flatter look, a little bit more of a colder look because there's so much cold air around it. And just a quick look at the long range beyond that, we're still pretty much in the same place, so there are other weather systems in the cards that the models are trying to figure out. So no question that February is turning to be a lot different than that stretch from after the mid-December storm, that 6-week stretch from mid-December to the end of January. February is definitely going to be a much different type of month. Omni True Value Hardware, folks, 1226 North Wellwood Avenue for all your winter storm supplies. 631-756-1125, and the website is omnitruevalue.com. And while these storms are going on, they are opening early in the morning. We're talking like sometimes 3 or 4 a.m. and closing late in the evening. So give them a call for specific hours. When there's not much weather going on, they're working their normal schedules. But if we get those winter storms as advertised, they will be open later and earlier. Okay, the Joe and Joe Weather Show will attempt to make some sense of all of this tonight at 7:30 Eastern Time, so be sure you tune in to that. And that's pretty much it. So we'll have further updates on my weather platform on Patreon. That's at patreon.com/meteorologist Joe Cioffi. Thank you, folks. See you later.